Hey y'all, hi. Okay, today we are talking about 5 bad habits that are maybe holding you back from being the truly stylish person that I know you are deep down inside, and that you could be with a little bit of a new approach, maybe a little bit of a new perspective. I've been thinking a lot lately about how style is a choice and what a joy it is to practice. And one of the things I love doing here on my channel is giving tools to people so that they can practice it more easily and more joyfully. Let's get right into the meat of the video. Also, my name is Hannah. I will link my book at the top of the description box down below, so check that out. Okay, bad habit number 1, waiting until the last minute to decide what to wear. And by the last minute, I honestly mean the day of. Even if you give yourself a little bit of time, like enough time you think to put together an outfit, if you are trying to innovate, open your mind to something that you've never worn before, if you're trying to develop that skill of spotting an aspect of your outfit that could maybe be turned up a notch or turned down a notch and then tinkering with it or replacing it with something else to get the balance just right. If you're working on that, essentially developing your way of practicing the art of style, and you only ever do it when you are under time pressure and also under kind of the emotional anticipatory pressure of being about to walk out the door and go to whatever the event is or the workplace is or the social gathering, whatever it is that you're getting dressed for. You're like trying to develop as an artist under all of these different kinds of duress, like under stress. That's what you're doing to yourself if you only ever go through the process of thinking about outfit composition and trying on clothes and seeing what works and what doesn't work and how you feel. If you only ever do that right before you leave the house, if you only ever do it when you're actually getting dressed to go somewhere. So what's the alternative? Take time to try on outfits, put together outfits, mess with outfits recreationally. Maybe it's, a couple of hours one afternoon on the weekends. Maybe it's in the evening after your kids go to bed. Take some me time and spend it just playing in your closet and trying new combinations, things you thought that you would never wear. And maybe this can be planning everything you're going to wear for your school week or your work week in advance. Or maybe it's just trying stuff, trying outfits, and then thinking, well, where might I wear this? And then when that event comes around, you have already done all of that legwork, and probably because of not having the time constraint or the constraint of anticipatory pressure, you probably have arrived at an outfit that is better put together than the one you would have put together if you did it at the last minute. So if you are not ever planning your outfits in advance, if you are not ever playing with your clothes at a time when you're not about to walk out the door, then that is holding you back from being your most stylish self. Bad habit number 2, negative self-talk. Considering yourself to not really be a stylish person. Let me tell you, you get to choose. It can literally change tomorrow depending on how you put yourself together, what kind of time you put into it, just what you decide to put on your body when you walk out the door, which is all up to you. The world is your oyster when it comes to this. It's entirely at your fingertips. You can just tinker with the combinations of the things that you wear a little bit and move the needle on your own level of style. So if you are saying to yourself, oh, I'm not one of those stylish people, I'm not one of those people who does that, well, the only reason you are able to say that to yourself is because you're not doing it. But you can then just do it. Like, it's up to you. It's in your power, right? It's not something inherent to you. It's not something that someone took away from you and isn't going to give back to you. It is in your power to relish getting dressed and to foster that side of yourself. If you're not used to it, if you're coming off of a lifetime of this kind of negative self-talk, of saying to other people and to yourself that you aren't a very stylish person, you don't really have an eye, that you're not bold, you're not brave enough to wear certain things. If you're coming off of a lifetime of that, it might be a little bit uncomfortable at the beginning, but you can push through it. And essentially having that view of yourself and reinforcing it by saying it over and over, in a way, it's nothing more than a bad habit. So if you talk to yourself that way, but you're here in this video because you do want to be a more stylish person, then it's time to kick that habit. And it won't take long, just a day or two maybe of wearing things that you haven't worn before and seeing how that feels. Maybe 1 or 2 new acquisitions, kinds of things that you've always wanted to wear and admired on other people, but that you've talked yourself into thinking you can't or don't wear. It doesn't take much to step into those shoes, figuratively and maybe literally, that you are the only person holding yourself back from wearing. Bad habit number 3 that may be holding you back from being your most stylish self is being retailer-led instead of vision-led when it comes to your point of view, when it comes to the style that you're trying to build for yourself. Let me explain. This is one that I'm really passionate about and a trap that I fell into for a long time. If the way that you build your wardrobe is by going shopping and seeing if you come across anything that you like, you're being retailer-led towards every purchase. You're letting the shop displays and the available items kind of teach you what is good to wear, teach you what it is expected for you to wear. But they don't know you. They don't know your life. And in each case, in each shop, the vision of the shop is more constrained, is narrower than what is available to you, which is the entire world of clothing and secondhand clothing and fashion imagery and history, right? You have the entire world of aesthetics of fabric draped on the body from which to create a vision for yourself that will lead to your personal style. If you just walk into a store and look around and see what's there, you've narrowed it down to like the size of the tip of a pin compared to what you can choose from, what you could be building from. And that does nothing for you, but it does everything for the retailer, for the shop, because it kind of tricks you into thinking that they have the answer and then buying their clothes and maybe a lot of their clothes because it's like, oh, they clearly know what's up. But they don't know what's up. They just made some clothes just now. So just because something fits you well in the store, just because something is in a color that someone once told you looks good on you, just because something has one quality that you've always thought was kind of cute, like little flower-shaped buttons or ruching or something. You're like, oh, I always liked ruching, so I should probably buy that because it's right here and it has that one quality. Instead of falling for that kind of over and over again in a bunch of different garments and then ending up with a bunch of garments, each one of which only has one quality that you have always kind of liked, go the other direction, right? So the opposite of being retailer-led is being vision-led. That means building a vision for yourself separate from the act of shopping at retailers. So at websites, in person. And that means sourcing images somewhere else. I like Pinterest. I like to look at street style imagery, street style photography who post on Instagram. I like to search on Pinterest specifically for street style or for like Fashion Week street style to see how people are putting outfits together when they have the entire world as their fashion oyster instead of just one brand or instead of it just being like campaign imagery for one brand, because that's artistic work rather than being sales work. If you gather imagery, especially imagery of people who wear clothes kind of in the same way that you do, meaning like clothes that would suit your lifestyle, maybe imagery of people who have a similar body type to yours, so that you can be inspired in a practical way. Images that make you feel something, give you a little bit of glitter in your tummy, that sort of fashion excitement, and you're like, oh, I could wear that, or I could wear something like that, like some version of that. Gather a bunch of images like that, and then take a step back and look at them. You can figure out what it is you're after, and you can do that kind of independently. And then when you go into a store, when you are online looking around, you will know when you come across something whether it aligns with your vision or not. And in that way, you are kind of shopping on your terms and building a wardrobe on your terms from a place of having a clear sense of the direction in which your wardrobe is going. I have a couple of other videos about this idea of being retailer-led rather than vision-led and how I went from being one kind of shopper and wardrobe builder to the other. So I'll link those down below and in the cards in case you'd like to watch them. The fourth bad habit that is holding you back from being your most stylish self, some of you might have seen this coming, and this also might be the hardest one for some people, so I apologize in advance, but I'm just going to lay it on you. Buying sloppy fast fashion and low quality garments made out of low quality materials. Only buying and wearing faint echoes of actual clothing, like disintegrating plastic wisps on the wind. How can you be your most stylish self when that is your habit? It's not necessarily more affordable in the long run because you're having to constantly replace things that are disintegrating before your very eyes, like falling apart or at the very least becoming unrecognizable in just 1 or 2 wash cycles. So it's cheaper when you buy it, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the habit of dressing yourself in sloppy fast fashion made out of low quality materials, that the habit is more affordable in the long term. And especially if you're sourcing high quality things on the secondhand market rather than buying them new, it's definitely not more affordable in the long term to be buying fast fashion. And it is certainly holding you back from looking and feeling your best. It's very tempting. It can be very tempting and a tough habit to break, maybe the hardest one on this list. But if you are buying clothes that look good in theory, but then when you get up close to them, they don't have integrity, like the fabrics and the way in which they're stitched together, there's no integrity there. Your stylishness, no matter how much you want it, is not going to get off the ground. And again, I have a video about how to identify the clothing that might make you kind of look or feel frumpy or sloppy. That's a bit more granular. I'll link that one in the cards too. And lastly, the fifth bad habit that is likely holding you back from being your most stylish self is this: saving your good clothes and not wearing them. Who among us isn't guilty of this? This is a habit that I fight all the time. Saving your good clothes. For what? For when? This is your life. Today is your life. Is today not worthy of your beautiful blouse? I mean, maybe today isn't worthy of like a ball gown that you have in the back of your closet or your most formal clothes, but something that's just a little bit nicer than what you usually wear. Like that's your nice shirt that you save for special occasions. What would it be like if you just wore it to work? Maybe you just wear it today. Or I don't know, that's like, oh, that's my sexy shirt and I save it for when I want to be sexy. What about today? Even if you're not, I don't know, going on a date or like going to a party or something, why not? Stylishness, it's like a joy unto itself that is for the person who is doing it. So if you have garments in your closet that are like your stylish clothes, your clothes where you kick it up a notch, your clothes that really make you feel like that person, but you usually don't wear them because you're saving them for when it's time to feel like that person, it's like totally missing the point, because you don't need to wait until something slightly different in your life is happening before you feel good or before you do the things that give you that posture, that give you that confidence, that swagger, you know, or just that little bit of delight. And I know that there is sometimes a concern about like getting them dirty, then having to clean them, messing them up, and then they're not perfect for the time when you do need them. But clothes with integrity wash well. And there's also nothing wrong with a beautiful garment being less than sparkling brand new if it's made well. Like a really beautifully made silk blouse, for example, that you usually save because you're worried that it's going to get a stain on it. What if you wore it like every Monday for a month? If you get a stain on it, you could just use the stain remover and then wash it. And, you know, at the end of the month, you'll have washed it 4 times, maybe have had to remove a stain. And what? It'll just be your same beautiful silk blouse that has been washed 4 times. But if it's well made, it's almost like a better version of itself because it will be more, you'll have spent more time with it. It'll feel more like you, you'll feel more comfortable in it. And then when an occasion rolls around for which it is necessary to wear something a little bit elevated and you put it on, you're right at home in it. And you don't have that feeling of being like a little bit overstarched and a little bit dressed up. Just try it. Try wearing the nice clothes that you've been saving for another day. You know, I'm tempted to say like, what's the worst that could happen? Well, yeah, maybe it gets ruined and maybe you can't afford for that to happen or you really don't want that to happen for it. And that's fair. So you have to use your best judgment within reason to whatever degree it is possible for you in your life. Maybe see if you can scale back on this habit of saving your good clothes for some future day, because it's definitely holding you back from being your most stylish self right now. That is it. I hope that this was inspiring. I feel kind of chastised by myself, especially there at the end. I was like talking and at the same time I was like really feeling motivated to go wear my silk blouse like right now. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you. I hope you enjoyed this video and I really hope you're taking extra good care of yourself so that you can be the most effective version of yourself as you do your work in the world.